Call 911, stay on the line, and we will address your issue. Thanks.
Thank you. So from midnight to where we are today, the fire department has rescued about 290, and we fully recognize that there are many other people that are out there in distressful situations, and we intend to get to every one of them. I'm going to have someone specifically talk about 911 in a few minutes, but I want to focus on the rescue portion. Chief Oscillator.
Thank you, Mayor. The Houston Police Department remains in a tactical alert posture with all of our officers working a minimum of 12-hour shifts. We've handled 56,000 calls for 911 services since our operational period that began at 6 p.m. on Friday. To date, we've completed the rescue of 2,000 Houstonians and members of our community. And as of this moment, as of this press conference, we have approximately 185 critical rescue requests that are still pending. Our goal today with our partners at the fire department and our other partners that are coming in from around the state and country is to complete the rescues of all critical missions today. And again, because of the weather and the lighting conditions, we cannot use our boats at night. Most of the boats don't have lights, and so we can't do it, but they should be out on the water now. The last thing that I want to mention in terms of the public safety emergency is the looting situation. We've had 4 people that tried to loot, and they were arrested. After these events, frequently, especially once the natural disaster piece of it, where it's active floods going on, folks move in from around other states and even other cities and other regions to come in and loot and create problems. I can tell you that we do have every one of our officers deployed, and we have police officers from throughout the state of Texas that are on their way to actually augment our police force. So we will have plenty of resources, and the one thing you can be assured that if you try to commit a criminal offense, especially try to take advantage of our citizens that have already been victimized enough by Mother Nature, you can be assured you'll be arrested. Lastly, a lot of cars, many cars have been towed throughout the city, and if you want to know where your car is at, even though I can tell you it should not be your priority to try to drive somewhere to find your car or assess your car right now, because the weather emergency continues and the threat from the weather continues. But you can find out if it's actually been towed at findmytowedcar.com, or call 713-308-8580. That's 713-308-8580. And lastly, I just want to, on behalf of all of us, express the way we feel about our community. A lot of people are frustrated. They don't understand why when we send trucks and we tell you we've sent trucks we can't get to. Unfortunately, those trucks can only go so far in moving water, even those big trucks. And so hopefully today we'll get to the rest of you. Please don't give up on us, and none of us are going to give up. So that's our goal for today, Mayor.
Thank you. And the goal is rescue. And that's the major focus for the day. That's my directive, is that we want to focus on getting people where they are and getting them out of their homes or whatever the stressful situation may be. And in that regard, we have more assets that we're working with today than we had yesterday, and there are more assets that are on the way. There are some that are still being slowed down because of the streets are impassable, and then at the same time there are a lot of assistance that's coming from outside of the city. Certainly, again, I want to thank Mayor Martin Walsh out of Boston because he's sending down some high water rescue equipment and vehicles, and I thank him for that. He's also providing clothes and other things that are needed for people who are in our shelters. I thank him for that, as well as additional assistance, and that's coming from many of the mayors as well. But in terms of reaching us, 911, I know there there have been a number of observations made about 911, and so I want Joe Lloyd to come and kind of give us a status report on where we are, because we're placing a high priority, making sure that when people call, they're able to reach us, and then once they reach us, then we need to respond to them. Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Joe Lott. I'm with the Houston Emergency Center. And as of this 9 o'clock this morning, we received approximately 75,000 calls that we did process as well. And we've gotten our queue numbers down to 10, meaning those are the calls that's kind of pending that we do have to hold. That's a huge difference from yesterday. They were probably about 120 to about 250, down to about 10 to 15 on queue today. So yes, we are receiving a tremendous amount of calls. This is an extreme emergency for everyone, the whole region, of course. But we are encouraging citizens to call, when they do call 911, to stay on the line. Do not hang up, because that just expands our trunk system, which overloads it, and it just puts out the whole bad numbers of people that we can't get to. So stay on the line. What we've also initiated last night is what's a voice-activated system that notifies people that if they do call 911, that their call is being processed. And that's a significant event, because what citizens were experiencing earlier was a constant ring and thinking that our system was down. Our system hasn't been down. It's just the long way to call. So stay on the line. We're also encouraging citizens that if they have received any calls from relatives, if they have contacted 911 previously, do not follow up with that. Do not test 911 right now. We are just experiencing an abundance of calls. But we do have a good grasp on that, and we are encouraging people, if they do need 911, please stay on the line, and we will process that call.
People apparently go calling for status reports. What should people calling for? What should they call for?
Well, extreme emergencies, life-threatening situations, of course, and status reports is not life-threatening. Okay, so we are discouraging those types of calls just because we really want us to keep those lines open for life-threatening situations. Okay, do not follow up with it, but we are receiving all types of messages from all around the region. We're processing them. We're putting in the lines. This is just an extreme emergency. We understand where everyone's coming from, but we do hope that the citizens do understand that we are processing the calls, and hopefully help will be on their way. We want to go ahead and